I have been doing my very best to stay far away from this issue, but I think we've reached a point where I need to discuss it. The drama in the goth community lately. I watch a lot of goth YouTubers, almost all of them, from the microscopic channels like my own to the channels that have blown up to really unimaginable proportions, and bravo to you for that. But goth YouTubers are not the only content I watch online. I kind of watch just about every category of YouTuber you can think of, bar really horrible people. And I've noticed that the issues going on in the goth YouTube community right now are very similar, if not the same, as issues going on across all of YouTube and every subgenre of YouTuber over the past year or so. As soon as I realized that, I sat down and thought, this is really strange. There must be some common element, because if people in the YouTube art community and the makeup community and the goth community and the everything community are all having similar issues, what's that common element? What's tying them all together and making everyone freak out so bad? And I think I've figured it out. It's that, obviously, if you're on YouTube, we kind of police ourselves. The internet has slightly different rules from real life. There are no online cops. We are the online cops. We make our citizens' arrests when we decide someone doesn't deserve their platform anymore. And the issue with that is that you get these people who decide that it's their job to just police everything, and it starts to veer from that place of genuine concern and wanting to help someone into, I want to god mod in this entire platform and make it my own. I want to be the top dog. The number one issue I've noticed across the platform, and especially in the goth subculture lately on YouTube, is that a lot of people, whether they actually say the word or not in their video, are masquerading bullying, belittling, and harassment as critique. I think some of them know exactly what they're doing, and I think some of them don't. I think some people just get overly emotional when they're trying to discuss their point, and they don't realize that they're not abiding by the rules of proper critique anymore. We're allowed to critique whatever we want on YouTube, because when you really get down to the nitty-gritty of it, making videos on YouTube is an art form, and art is subjective, so as soon as you upload content to YouTube, you need to be open to the fact that people are going to critique it, they are going to review it, and it's not always going to be in a positive light. I'm sure already someplace on the internet people are just shitting all over me, which is why I don't Google myself. And in an effort to help people understand when they might be veering into that bullying category, I decided, instead of sitting here ranting about specific people all day, I would kind of break down what makes a good critique, so that the next time you decide, I want to critique such and such YouTuber, you can make sure you're doing it effectively and that you're not hurting somebody. So I'm pretty sure most of us know this, but number one thing I think that most people should do when they're about to critique another content creator is make an outline. When you're critiquing someone, you need to have some kind of script. This doesn't mean it's like a movie script where you write down bullet points of every single topic you're going to discuss, because sometimes something might pop into your head and you want to roll with that and you don't want to get stunted by all of your bullet points, but you should have some kind of outline made. You need to argue specific points and back them up with facts and evidence if you want to critique properly. And in order to make sure you stay on topic and you don't break all the rules, you need to have that outline made that just says, say you want 3 different topics discussed in your critique about somebody. Say I want to critique toxic tears. I would make some bullet points, like, obviously she's already fixed this, don't worry, I'm not attacking her. Before, when people were saying her big issue is that all she was doing was unboxings, I'd be like, okay, so topic of the video is going to be a critique on toxic tiers for doing too many subscription boxes. So item number 1 on the outline would be, here are screen caps of what her channel used to look like. Here are all these videos that have nothing to do with unboxings, and then here's an unboxing, and then more videos that have nothing to do with it. Here is what it looks like now would be the second part of the outline. And the third part of the outline would be, here are the steps I think she needs to take in order to improve her content, giving some kind of advice. Having this gives me the freedom to openly discuss it in whatever way I think is right, but it keeps me on topic, so as soon as I finish speaking about one of those points, I can take a look at my outline and go to the next one. The second thing I think people need to do when they're about to film a critique is understand that kind of the number one rule of a critique versus just attacking someone is that after you're through telling the person what it is they have done wrong, you need to actually give them some real advice on how to fix it. You can't just sit here in front of your camera for half an hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you want, saying, this person sucks, this person is terrible at making videos, why are they even on YouTube, they need to leave already. That's not helpful. That's just bullying and harassing people, especially when you then in your comment section have all these people agreeing with you and, you know, verbally attacking them and then going on to that person's videos and you haven't told them not to. Like, that's getting into dangerous territory. You don't know what those people are going to do. I have seen websites, I actually saw one just last night where one person will do what they deem a critique, but it's actually just them shitting on a content creator, and then all of their fans went to this website and started trying to dox the person. They were all having this like forum conversation on how to find where the person lived, their address that wasn't their P.O. box, what their real name was, who their family members were. It was getting terrifying. This is the kind of shit that happens when you do stuff like that. I understand, no matter what, there are crazy people on the internet who will do whatever they want. If they want to dox someone, they're going to dox them. But just make sure you're not adding fuel to that fire. A good review or a good critique has to have some kind of advice at the end. Otherwise, what's the person supposed to think? You're all mad that they watched your video and they said that you're stupid or something, or not to listen to you, or they got pissed off at you for making it and did kind of a rebuttal video. But think about why they did that. Were you fair? Did you offer a real critique and offer them advice, or did you just attack them? If you offered no advice, they felt cornered by you, and when human beings feel cornered, we lash out and defend ourselves, because what else can we do in that situation? So just make sure that you're offering that good advice at the end. Another rule that's lesser known, and I don't know that it's technically a rule, but I think it's a good idea when you're critiquing, is to follow as many rules for a logical argument as you possibly can. I know not everyone has had a chance to sit there and take a bunch of logic courses in their life, but a lot of us have some working knowledge of a logical argument. You don't want to appeal to emotion more than you appeal to logic. It is important in some cases to evoke some kind of emotion in your critique, because you're trying to change people's minds, and at our core, we're very emotional beings, the human race. We want people to touch our hearts and to touch our minds in a way we didn't think of before. But only appealing to emotion by getting angry, by getting sad, and trying to make the people watching it feel that same way, that only gets you so far. All it does is make those people angry or sad. It doesn't actually help. What you need to do is, after you're through with your evoking emotions in your audience, you need to then actually back everything up that you're saying with facts and evidence. And here is where one of the critical issues tends to stem from in all these people who are critiquing Goth YouTubers and other YouTubers. they're not actually using evidence. What they're doing is they are either straw manning. Straw manning has become a massive problem, especially in the goth subculture lately, and it's a fallacy. It's a logical fallacy. It's something you do because you know you don't have enough facts and evidence to support your claim, and the only way you can get everyone to listen to you and jump on board your bandwagon is by making something sound worse than it actually is and blowing down that person's potential argument before they even have a chance to make it. And it's kind of a shitty thing to do. So don't be straw manning. That's not a logical argument. That's not a critique. It's just, again, kind of obnoxious. And red herrings tend to happen a lot too. A red herring is when, say your video, like I said, again, Toxic Tears, say it's supposed to be about her doing too many unboxings, but halfway through your video, you start saying that you think she's a bad pet owner because she goes on vacation a lot and leaves Sebastian on his own or something. Like, you just go off on this weird tangent about something like that. That's a red herring. You know, again, that whatever evidence you had to back up the fact that she's doing too many unboxings wasn't going to be enough, so you're trying to make her sound like this horrible person, because by making her look like a horrible person, you know people are more likely to listen to what you have to say about her. And I absolutely do think that's just full-on bullying and harassment. Red herrings are absolutely awful, and I don't have a lot of respect for people who use them at all. This next issue has been getting me pretty steamed lately. It's probably the worst case of bullying and harassment that I have seen so far in the goth YouTuber community, and that is that there have been a few people who have decided they take issue with this or that goth YouTuber this week for whatever reason. Instead of DMing them, instead of making a video, going someplace that they know this person has a chance to respond to them, they are taking to platforms they know that person does not have and attacking them there. And that is absolutely disgusting to me. By going on a platform like Twitter or Instagram or something outside YouTube that you know that user does not, that you know that creator does not have, pulling in other content creators to listen to whatever you want to say to shit on them that day, and getting all these people behind you and then attacking them later is so awful, because in your little planning phase here, where you're collecting all these people who agree with you on that platform that creator doesn't have, you are removing their shield and preventing them from defending themselves. It's awful. You're sitting there for a week at a time sometimes, anywhere from 24 hours to a week at a time, collecting all these people, discussing what your issues are with that person, why you think they're terrible, and then later, once you have enough of an army to back you up, then you're making videos attacking these people, or then you're going on Instagram or Twitter or wherever else they are, attacking them. But by then it's too late, because you've all formulated your plans already. You've already decided how you're taking this person down, and you already have some kind of way of straw manning them before they even have a chance. It's awful. I don't understand why people are doing this, but I've seen it happen to a couple of people now, where somebody just decides they don't like that person, so they talk about them on Twitter or Instagram if that person doesn't have Twitter or Instagram, and they just rev up the engine to attack when there's no way they can say, hey, let me speak for myself. You've got it all wrong. You completely misunderstood what I was saying there. I cannot support someone who is okay with removing all defense from somebody. I don't understand why you would want to do that. Anyone who's done it is way too old to be doing it. They are like full-fledged in their 30s adults. You know it's wrong, you know it's horrible, and you know that a lot of the fan base for goth YouTube is a younger generation than your own. And you're setting that as the example to them. That is the part of this that's been bothering me the most. If you have an issue with someone, whether you want to critique them or just come at them, do it on a platform you know they have, and just suck it up and take the fact that they might have a rebuttal for you. Before I completely freak out and make this video an hour long, I'm gonna stop, and I hope that on some level this helped some people. As always, do something that makes you happy today, no matter what anyone else thinks about it, as long as you're not being a fucking asshole, and I'll see you all soon.